Hi everyone! So I am finally showing you the amazing essential actions for Darker Studio. They start here at Handy Actions and go all the way down. Look at all of those actions that are included. I'm so excited. This collection has took me months and months, and I know I've teased about it for a while, but honestly it is so worth it. Hopefully it's got everything that you need. I'm not going to go through too much how to use things. I want to get through this video and show you exactly what's included without rabbiting on too much. Then there'll be another video showing you exactly how to use each action. So we've got make a selection, so that will select your subject. Then we have separate the subject from the background. So that's to make a selection. If I click this will separate your subject from your background. So if you've got any masking to do behind, if you've got any cloning to do behind your subject, you can easily do that. So you can see it makes a blank layer. If you want to do any cloning, then you can click on the background layer, Command J or Control J, it will copy that layer, and then you will be able to clone right behind your subjects. And I'll just very quickly show you that. So I can bring all that cloning down there, and it's not making any changes to my subject, it's all happening behind. So that's the action. Okay, then we have, where are we? Merge layers. So that's just going to create a background layer basically, and it saves you from flattening. Every single action does have an instruction on so that you can read through the instructions on how to use them or what they're for. Fix the focus if your image is a little bit out of focus, and that is going to fix it for you. Tone down the harsh light. If you've got harsh highlights, you can paint this on and tone down the harsh light. So you would just, let me make that brush bigger. I'm going to do it 100% so you can see. So you can see it will tone down the light, but it does it in a really nice, subtle way. So it's not just going to bring down the light. We've got Sweet Soul Base. So this is basically the steps that I make at the start of every edit pretty much. Then we have lighter base. So you may see some people have said, what's the difference between this and the Fine Art Painterly Portrait collection? Massive difference. They're completely different. They're made differently. There's no actions that are the same. Well, other than like dodge and burn. Excuse me. So simple actions like that. Perfect soft skin I put in there just for ease and also frequency separation, just because it's easier for you rather than to keep scrolling. There are a couple of actions that may have a similar name, but it's absolutely not the same. So this one, for example, lighter base, there's an action in the Painterly Portrait collection called, I think it might even be called Bring Up the Light Softly. It's completely different anyway. This action will work on the subject and the background separately. So you can see that subject is really popping off that background because it's worked on them both separately. You can reduce the opacity and play around. It's not going to work, all the actions aren't going to work for every image, and that is why there's a few. So we've got lighter base all over the image, so this is just going to bring it up really nice and soft. And then we've got subtle soft light, so this will give a really subtle but beautiful soft light to your image. Then we have darker base dramatic. So again, this is going to work on your subject and your background separately. This is going to look really dark on this image because it is so dark already. Maybe I should have lit it up first. Let's go lighter base all over image, and then I'll show you darker base. The good thing about these actions as well is you do not have to flatten. You can play every single one of these actions on top of each other. You do not have to flatten at all. The only one that you'll need to adjust is make a selection, where you just select where the subject is. So then I'll show you that on another bit, though that select subjects. I'm getting off course a bit there. Okay, so darker base dramatic. Some images you will not have to do any masking. For this one, obviously, it's already a darker image, so you will probably need to mask some of that off. So you can just use your black brush. You can use a nice big brush as well and bring it back from where that light is coming from. So bring that direction back. I'm trying to get through these so quickly, but I just want you to see what's involved. So that's darker base dramatic. I'll leave that one on so we can see darker base soft. So this is like nice and soft. It just brings out them darker lights really beautifully. Dramatic base everywhere. So as the first dramatic one played on the subject and the background, this will just do it everywhere, just for a really simple action. And then you would just very, very simply use your big black brush and click off. That's basically it. Let me crop this down because, whoops, it is distracting me. Okay, then we have, where were we up to? Dark base off, warm tones. So this is really, really pretty. Again, it's going to play completely different on all different images. It really depends on the image, but you can see the beautiful warm tones. And again, it is working on your subject and your background separately. So it is making that background really nice and warm, and then it's just color toning the subject into that background. So it's working on them both separately. Then we have enhance the color. So if you've got colour in your image, this will enhance it, but really nice and soft. It's not going to do anything too dramatic. So you can play that a couple of times. Do not Command J or Control J. Go and play the action again. Or you can absolutely open up the properties, open up the folder and the properties, and you can adjust these more. There's not just this layer, there's the one underneath it as well. Okay, then we have cool tones. So this is really, really nice. It's a gorgeous action that will give you those really beautiful blue cool tones across your image. Again, it's working on your backdrop and your subject separately. I'm just going to use Drop the Blues first. So it's dropped some of them blues in the background, and then I'll play the cool tones one, just so that you're getting a little bit more of an idea of how it will play. But obviously there already is some blue in this backdrop, so it's not playing the same as it would on any. But again, it is gorgeous. Let's play it on this one. Where are we? Cool tones. And again, you don't have to use these all in order. You can come down and play some of these and then come up here and play some of these. You can play some of these a couple of times just to really build up those layers. But you get a little bit more of an idea on this one how the cool tones play. So you can see it's just cooling the skin down a little bit as well. So it just really is working with the background and the subject so that you're using it to its best. The words failed me, but you know what I mean. Potential. Okay, so then we have paint on low light. This is just basically so you've got a little bit more freedom on where to paint your low light. So if you wanted just a little bit more depth and darkness over one side, then you can mask that on. Again, it's on the instructions when you play the action. These are all brush on subject adjustments. So we've got brighten, so we can brighten. We've got acne eraser. We have, which I think is pretty self-explanatory, but I can give it a play anyway. We have essential skin, essential dark skin. You may just want to use one or the other, so you can definitely use acne or essential skin. Essential skin is a little bit more in depth, but you can see how that works. Let's go for essential skin. Let's do it on this one. So essential skin here, and I've also included essential darker skin as well. So you've got those two options. Let that play. It is doing a lot this action, so it may take a couple of seconds to play, or quite a few seconds. But you can see it will just blend all of those skin tones. And if your subject does not have any problematic skin, this action is just an absolute dream. It's just going to look amazing. If there's a little bit of redness or eczema or anything like that, then there is a little bit of frequency separation work that you probably will have to do. But you can see it's just really beautiful action. Let's go. What else have we got? We've got perfect soft skin, frequency separation again, as I already said. We've got simple clean skin. So that is just a really simple action that you can just mask on the skin. It's not doing anything too fancy, but it is going to get rid of some of those blemishes for you. This is particularly good if you've got an image where your subject is further away from the camera. So that's good for that. We've got fix dark eyes, fair skin, medium skin, and dark skin. So just have a play around and see which one you think is best. I'm just pasting on medium skin, and then maybe I'll go in with a little bit of fair skin as well. And then obviously you can just switch to your black brush and mask that off the eyes as well. Then we have peachy warm skin. Oh, I'm going too far down. We have balance out pink skin. So if there's any pink skin, you can just mask this on and it will just balance out that pink magenta look. But you can also use your opacity slider. You can mask on with a bit of a lower opacity brush and it'll just balance that out for you. We've got neutralized skin tone. So you can just mask this all over to neutralize the skin tone. Then we have peachy warm skin. So that will just give you a nice peachy warm skin. That's beautiful. Obviously, this edit is not looking good. We have blush for fair skin and blush for dark skin. I like to use a bit of both on both skin tones, to be honest. I like to mix it up a little bit as well, depending on the image. But the blush is really pretty. Warm highlight. So this is a mask on version. So you just mask it on the highlights and the action will warm up the highlights beautifully for you and it gives that really nice glow as well. I'm just going to delete some of these because it's going to start looking ridiculous. So that's the warm highlight. So you can turn that off and on and see the difference. Then we have warm highlights. Warm shadows. So you can add some warm tea shadows as well. Again, just play around with the opacities, but it should be in the instructions as well on most of them. Warm depth paint on, so this will add a really nice warm skin tone, but a lot of depth as well. So if I turn that off and on, you can see the difference. Don't ever suggest you edit an image like this, but there's a lot to get through here. Gorgeous glow, so this is a mask on glow, so you can just mask on in certain areas where you want to add some glow. If I turn that off and on, so it's like a glowy dodge. Then we have famous freckles. So if your subject has freckles, that will bring the freckles out beautifully. Use around a 40-50% opacity brush. Whiten teeth will do exactly that. Just mask on for whiten teeth. Dodge and burn adjustments. So soft light for skin. This action is great for in this area here. It will add that really nice soft pale light. So chin, forehead and under the eyes it is perfect for. I would use more of a glowy dodge for like down the highlights to emphasize the light. Beautiful warm burn. So use this around 80 to 100% and you can see it's just adds that really nice warm depth. I just mask that on, you can see. Then we have the dodge tool and the burn tool, which when you click them it will automatically select the dodge tool and select the burn tool for you. Then we have auto subject adjustments, which are wonderful. If I zoom out, we've got brighten. So this is going to brighten your subject. And as I said, you don't have to flatten anything. This is going to do this on top of all of the layers, so you don't have to flatten anything. So that will brighten your subject. We also have subject depth, so it'll add some depth to your subject. So if your subject is looking a little bit flat, then this is a really great one to play. Then we have warm them up, so it's just going to warm your subject up. So you don't actually have to come to the brush on adjustments. You can first come on to the subject adjustments and then maybe adjust with the brush later. We've got skin smooth, so this will just pick out all of those skin tones and smooth. And you can see here it's not worked amazingly on this image. That's okay, you can just brush on the perfect soft skin. Let me remove these. You may find that it will do that on a couple of images, but it has only actually done that on 2 images that I've used it on, and you can imagine how many images I've tested this collection on. So you can see there it does darken a little bit, but that's why the other adjustments are there as well. You can use your black brush to mask off in certain areas or blend it in, but yeah, that can just save you so much time. Then we have Cool Beans, so that will just cool your subject. It will add a nice cool tone to your subject. Obviously she doesn't need cooling down, but if she did. Then we have Warm Glow, so this will add a beautiful warm glow to your subject. And let's try it on this one so you can see. I'm going to do a full edit on these, by the way. So Warm Glow, you can see it a little bit more there. Because I've not really done any skin adjustments, it's not picking it up perfectly on Amelia. So then we have Cool Glow, so it's the exact same but cool. So I'm going to play that. So you can see it's much cooler. Obviously, it's doubled up on the glow there, so it is quite harsh. Let's use the warm them up action just to add a little bit of warmth to her, and then I will play the dodge and burn action. So this is like a one-click dodge and burn, just to save you time if you needed it. It's going to add that little bit of depth and add them highlights in there. It can also be a really good base for your dodge and burn as well. Warm highlights, that will just play over your subject, so it saves you doing any masking. Same with cool highlights. Illuminate skin, I'm going to play here just so that you can see what that's doing. If I turn that off and on, you can see it just really gently illuminates the skin. If you want to double up on an action, that is absolutely fine, and that's why I do it that way, so it's not scaring you by going all in. But it just really nicely illuminates that skin tone. Then we've got cool the skin tone, warm the skin tone, which just does exactly what it says. Then we've got some colour adjustments, so you can saturate colours. So I can mask this on and saturate the green. And you can use different strength opacity brushes depending on how strong you want the saturation, and obviously you can use your opacity slider as well. So we have that for all colours. Then we have illuminate them colours too, so you can add some light in those colours, and that is really good for when you want to dodge and burn clothing as well, or anything like that. So that will save you so much work on dodge work. Then we have tonal overlays. These are so nice. Play around with them. So look, if I click yellow, it's not going to do what you think it's going to do. It can change your image completely. I'm just masking this off the dress because obviously it's green, so it's going to make it look luminous. But you can see there, it just adds that perfect warmth. Then we have green, and again, play around with it. It might surprise you. We've got warm and we've got blue. Then we have hair adjustments, so these are great as well. So we've got silky brunette, beautiful blonde, amazing red, which we'll play, silky black, and then a silky finish. So I'm going to play this red and mask that on. You can see it just really emphasizes the red hair. Obviously I'm not doing it perfectly. Then we've got silky finish, so once you've done that, you can mask on the silky finish and it will just give that beautiful silky feel to the hair as well. Then we've got a little touch of magic. So we've got all these. So we've got warm studio, we've got cool studio. Again, warm studio and cool studio are going to work on your subject and your background separately. If I turn that off and on, you can see it's going to work on them both separately. If you don't want to do that, then we've got warm studio all over, and we've also got cool studio all over. We've got cool highlights, cool shadows. So I'll play that. we have beautifully desaturate, so that will do it really nice and in a really nice subtle way. If you want to add more desaturate, then just play it again. Or you can open up the folder and adjust all the sliders. You can do that in pretty much all of the actions that are available. I like you to be able to open up the group and figure out what each action is doing, and that's going to help you in all of your editing. Soft saturation, so that will add saturation really nice and soft. It's nothing too harsh. Then we have a really nice high saturation. This is going to lighten, saturate. Obviously, it doesn't look great with a green image, but trust me, it does look really nice on other images. We've got high dreamy clarity. So when you play this is a mask on action, and it is just going to give you that really gorgeous clarity. It's going to work completely different on different images. There was an image that I posted of a little girl with a teddy bear in a crib, and I used it at 100% opacity, and it doesn't look like it just did when I deleted it from here. It's going to look different on all the images. This is a painterly softness, which will just add a really beautiful softness to your image. I like to use about 50% opacity black brush and mask that off the face and just build it up in anywhere else I want to bring that focus back. I'll turn that off and on so you can see the difference. Then we have deep and dreamy, so that is going to add like a really dreamy look, but it does add a lot of depth to your image, so you may want to mask some of that off the darkness. Then we have fine art mood. So I'm going to play that, and it just gives like that really fine art mood. That's what I feel like it gives, and that's why it's got the name. Obviously, you can use the opacity slider as well. It's going to add some depth to your subject as well, which again is just going to save you time on other things. Then we have, let's turn that back on. Then we have portrait focus. So this is going to add like a gradient at the bottom of your image, and it just focuses the eye onto the face. You can use a 100% opacity brush and just make sure that it is off the face and wherever you want that focus going. But you can see it just makes your eye look at the face. Then we have a fine art matte. So again, you can just use your black brush and bring back the focus wherever you want it. So you can just bring back the focus down the face, and then maybe lower the opacity and bring it down the arms and the hand. And again, you can use your opacity slider. It is set at 70%. You can see it goes quite a bit higher. But you can have this as subtle or as strong as you want. Then we have final light adjustments left and right. So if you light from the left, click the left. If you light from the right, click the right. I'm going to click it, and you can see it will just bring that focus back to your subject and bring the light wherever it is hitting. What you may want to do if it's not fully on your subject is just click with a black brush and bring that light a little bit more on your subject. But that is a great final finish, and it's pretty much a finish that I do on all my edits. We've got sharpen, we have black and white, and then this is just going to give you a simple black and white, and then we've got black and white adjustments. So we've got add contrast, add clarity, add depth, add matte. So the clarity, obviously you would use the opacity slider. We have add depth, so I'm going to play that one. We have add matte, so you can absolutely mask off as well. It's not going to mask off your black and white at all. You can use your opacity slider, add matte, and then again use your opacity slider and bring back the focus where you want it. And then we've got save. So we've got sharpen for print, social media size, landscape, portrait, and flatten. So your social media size, I'm going to show you one of these in use. It's going to resize your image. Really, I should have flattened first. Let me cancel. I'm going to flatten, and then I'm going to play that. It's going to be so much faster. So your little instruction box will pop up, but you can see it has resized your image. It also has sharpened. So what you need to do is zoom in, not too much, and then figure out where you want this to go. So you don't want to go too sharp with it. Also, if you need to change it, double click high pass here and you can change the slider here because it has been made as a smart filter. So I've got through them all. I am going to do a video now on a full edit showing how beautiful it is and how amazing the actions are. Thanks for sticking with this. Take care. Bye.